These are 7 defensive tips I wish I had known way earlier. My name is Spruce, and today I run the #1 Madden coaching site where I help over 1,000 active members win more games. But years ago, when I first got into Madden, I felt completely lost on defense and had no clue what I was doing. So with this video, my goal is to share with you guys these 7 defensive lessons that I wish someone had told me when I first started playing Madden. So starting off at number 1, don't ever use the match cornerbacks by speed coaching adjustment. A lot of players think this is a really smart adjustment, but I'm going to show you right here that it can easily be exploited. And so the defense here is in just a normal cover 3, and all I need to do on offense when the defense is on match cornerbacks by speed is take my outside receiver, put him in motion, and all of a sudden there's going to be a switch on the defensive side of the ball, and now the outside third defender is on the wrong side of the field, and I have an easy touchdown. And so let's back up for a quick second. In case you don't know what adjustment I'm talking about, on the defensive side of the ball in coaching adjustments, the second option in the menu is cornerback matchups. It always starts on balanced, but a lot of people think, oh, if I put this on cornerback matchups by speed, then that's going to give my cornerbacks an advantage because I can get my fastest cornerbacks against the fastest receivers and the slowest cornerbacks against the slowest receivers. But as I just showed you in that example, this can very easily be exploited. And so what I'm going to do here is the same motion I did before, but this time I'm going to show you the play art of the defense. And so I'm going to take the outside receiver on this left side, I'm going to motion him across, and look what happens to the assignments of the defense. The outside cornerbacks are now flipping. The outside thirds are now flipping because of that match cornerbacks by speed coaching adjustment. This is going to get you absolutely burned if you're playing someone who knows what they're doing, because I just showed you how easy it is. All I need to do is snap the ball this time instead of letting him motion all the way across. If I can get on that receiver again, just snap the ball when he's in here, and oh, look at that. I have the easiest touchdown of my life. You're always better off running your cornerback matchups by default. If you're going to run exclusively man coverage, then you can sometimes get away with it. But even then, it can be exploited at times. The safest thing, honestly, guys, is just to always stay on cornerback matchups by default. And that way your opponent will never be able to use motion to exploit this coaching adjustment and get themselves an easy one-play touchdown. Now for lesson number 2, always have a blitz on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to show you guys 2 different blitzes, and both of these come from our Steelers defense game plan on PlaybookProfessor.gg. And this first one right here is going to get one or both of your edge rushers coming through instantly for an easy sack on the quarterback. And so this first one, we are going to be in the formation nickel 2-4 double mug, and the play we're going to be calling is Tampa 2, although you can honestly run this using any play in the formation. We're going to have auto flip turned off. And so you're going to be applying a Texas 4-man stunt here, which you can do either in the play call screen or out on the field. To call it in the play call screen, you're going to press and hold the button of the play. So for me, that's going to be Y. I'm going to hold it down. It's going to bring up the stunts menu. Then you can scroll up on the left stick, and then you can just release your button when it's selected on Texas 4-man, and we are ready to go. And on offense, we'll call a play where they're sending 5 players out. Now out on the field, the adjustments are to spread your linebackers, which is going to be right on the D-pad and up on the left stick. You're going to either pinch or spread your D-line. It's going to basically do the same thing. And so we'll just spread right here, and then we're going to just hover with our linebacker, and when the ball is snapped, you're going to see that more often than not, one of those defensive ends is flying in for an easy sack on the quarterback. This is the best blitz in the game right now. It's what everyone is running online. It is going to get patched in a few weeks, so if you're going to use this, make sure you use it right now. I also want to show you guys a loop blitz also in the Steelers playbook, and it's going to be in the 3-4 odd formation. And once again, we're going to have auto flip turned off. That play is going to be Will Buck 3 press. And the best thing about this blitz is there's almost no setup at all. You can spread your D line if you want to, but you're just going to go ahead and use her with this linebacker right here. You can even take this defensive lineman here and zone him out. You can drop him into a hook curl if you want, and then you could take your user and guard on this side. And so this is just a 4-man loop, and you don't have to do anything else. When you snap that ball, that linebacker is going to fly through that gap for an easy sack on the quarterback from just a 4-man rush. And so these are just 2 examples of super powerful blitzes. And whenever you're playing defense, you always want to have a blitz. When you can get unblocked pressure from a 4-man or 5-man rush, that's going to give you a huge advantage on defense, It's going to force your opponent to start blocking their running back, and then you have an advantage in coverage. And real quick, guys, if you're tired of losing games, then you can get things turned around right now by joining our community of over 1,000 winning members at PlaybookProfessor.gg. 97% of our members say they win more games after signing up, so whether you're looking for schemes, advanced tips, or an active community of other Madden players just like yourself, PlaybookProfessor.gg has exactly what you're looking for. Don't forget to use code SPRUCE to get 30% off at checkout on both monthly and yearly memberships. So I hope to see you over there, and now back to the video. Now for lesson number 3, knowing how to gap shoot shotgun runs will win you games. And so first I want to show you guys this clip from one of my games a couple weeks ago. It was 4th and 1, and I was able to shoot through the gap, force my opponent to make a cutback, and get the stop to win the game. Watch it one more time. Even though I didn't make the tackle myself, you see I came through the line, forced the cutback, and my defensive tackle cleaned him up. And so let's talk about how we can do this type of shotgun gap shoot to get into the backfield uncontested. And so in order to do one of these shotgun gap shoots, we need to find a formation with 4 down linemen, and dime 2-3 is perfect for that. It's another one that we teach in our Steelers defense game plan on PlaybookProfessor.gg. And so the play you call here doesn't really matter. I'll just go ahead and do Tampa 2 in this case, but any of these plays where it's just the 4 down linemen rushing is going to be perfect. So we'll call Tampa 2, call inside zone for the defense, and let's talk about the adjustments. It's going to be super simple. You're first going to pinch the D-line, which is left on the D-pad, down on the left stick. You're then going to slant the D-line outside, which is left on the D-pad, up on the right stick, and then you're going to use her with a linebacker, and you're going to stand about 4 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and basically across from the running back. If you want, you can cheat a little bit inside, but you want to be on the running back side. You, of course, wouldn't be over here or anything like that. You want to be approximately across from the running back. And what's going to happen is when the ball is snapped, you're going to take your user and shoot through this gap that's going to open up right between your 2 defensive tackles. And I didn't mean to bump him, so let's go ahead and make sure let's repinch them so that they're in the right spot. But that's where the gap is going to open up. It's going to be right in between your 2 defensive tackles. And so when the ball is snapped, we're just going to fly right through this gap and make the diving tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It really is that easy, and this works in pretty much every formation with 4 down linemen. And so if you want to blow up your opponent's shotgun run plays in the backfield, go into practice mode and practice this shotgun gap shoot. And we'll do it one more time to show you guys this is really consistent. It works best on inside zones, but it really can work against any shotgun run play. Go ahead and snap the ball, fly through the line, and make the tackle in the backfield. It really is that easy. And once you know how to shotgun gap shoot run plays, this tip absolutely can win you more games. Now for lesson number 4, let's talk about how to guard super glitchy RPO flat routes. Let's say you're on defense here and your opponent is spamming the play RPO read flat, where this tight end flat route is getting wide open for a ton of yards on the outside. Being the thinking Madden player that you are, you say, well, why don't I just shade my coverage down? Now my slot cornerback is in a hard flat, and surely he will take away the throw to the tight end flat route. Well, unfortunately, while that's a great idea, it doesn't really work in practice because your slot cornerback in the hard flat is still going to get blocked, and the tight end in the flat is going to be open for a bunch of easy yards. And so what is going on here? What we have to understand on this play is how the blocking assignments work for both of these receivers on the outside. This outside receiver is always going to block the defender who is furthest outside, or you can also think of that as the defender closest to the sideline. This second receiver in, he's going to block the defender who is second furthest outside or second closest to the sideline. So even though he's in a hard flat here, he is going to get blocked by this receiver, and as a result, the flat route is wide open. So how can we change that? How can we change who this receiver is going to block? And all we have to do is move our defenders around just a little bit. And so if before the snap, I take this hard flat and slide him inside just a little bit, then take this safety and slide him outside just a little bit, now you can see this safety is the second defender from the sideline, or the second outermost defender. And so as a result, he's the one who is going to get blocked by the slot receiver. And that means this slot cornerback on the hard flat is going to be left unblocked to easily take away the tight end flat route. And so if we go ahead and snap this ball once again, this time you'll see that the flat route is completely covered. I was purposely not showing you guys the offensive play art until now because I wanted you guys to see it from the defense's perspective. But when we look at it from the offense's perspective, we can see that in this case, the pass key defender is the safety up here. That is the pass key defender. That's going to be the unblocked defender. And it's the same principle we talked about before. It's the idea that these two defenders are the ones who are going to get blocked. And so this is going to be the unblocked defender. He's going to be the pass key. And as a result, he's the player that you would be reading on offense when you decide whether or not to pass the ball. However, if the defenders are moved around, if this defender is moved inside and the safety is moved outside, well, then this is what it looked like from the defense's perspective. From the offense's perspective, now we can see that the pass key has changed to the slot cornerback who is on the hard flat. And that is why he is not going to get blocked. And so hopefully that makes sense. And of course, you hope he makes the tackle. He was obviously there to make the play. And so that is what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball when we're moving these guys around. We are basically ensuring that the slot cornerback here is going to be the pass key because of the rules where those two receivers are going to block the outer two most defenders. And so this is a very simple tip, but it's crazy how many people don't know this. There are people who will let their opponent run RPO read flat up and down the field, and they'll have no clue how to stop it. They'll just have to try and user the tight end flat route because they don't understand this simple concept. But once you understand that the two receivers are just going to block the outer two most defenders, then it gets trivially easy to defend plays like this and have the RPO flats completely locked down. Now for lesson number 5, this goal line defense will win you more games. Way too many players have no clue how to play proper goal line defense when their opponent gets down on the 1 or 2 yard line. But I'm going to show you guys exactly what you should be running in these situations. And so I have the offense here in QB sneak, which is the most popular play when the offense is down on the 1 yard line. And when our opponent snaps the ball, the quarterback is going to get hit before he could even get back to the line of scrimmage. So I think he probably lost yards there. He definitely was not getting into the end zone. And let's look at what play this is. And so a big mistake that people make when they're trying to run goal line defense is they go to the first goal line formation they see. They are typically going to be up here most of the game. They scroll down to goal line, just go, okay, goal line 6-2. But this is the wrong formation. You want to be in goal line 5-3. And so from this screen here, it's just hitting right on the D-pad to go to goal line 5-3, or if you're already in goal line 6-2, just hit RB or R1 to go to goal line 5-3. And goal line 5-3 is what we want to be in because we have an actual nose tackle. Now the play is going to be MLB gap A, and out on the field, our adjustments are going to be to pinch our D-line, which is left on the D-pad and down on the left stick, and then slant our D-line inside, which is left on the D-pad, down on the right stick. Then we're going to user with this blitzing linebacker right here, and we're just going to stand above the nose tackle. Now, if you want to give yourself a 100% chance of blowing up the QB sneak, you can take your user here and stand in the gap right here where your opponent's quarterback is going to sneak into, and when they hike the ball, you're just going to be able to hit them instantly. But the thing is, it's not really necessary. You can stay standing behind the nose tackle with your user, and you're going to get the exact same result. The defensive tackle is still going to hit the quarterback. And the reason we want to keep our user free is probably what people are saying in the comments. Well, whenever I see someone run that, I'm just going to run strong toss. And strong toss is the best counter for this. But the thing is, you want to take away the easy touchdown and make them have to go for the tougher touchdown. QB sneak is the easy touchdown. So we're going to take away QB sneak first. And now if we do flipped strong toss, because we're back here with our user rather than in this gap, we are still going to be free to flow in the direction of the run. Now from the 1 yard line, it's still going to be tough to keep them out, but you at least have a chance. And so when the ball is snapped, we can get outside with our user. And in this case, it's 2 controllers, so I can't cause the running back to sprint. But as you can see, we're able to take our middle linebacker, get outside leverage, and most likely would have forced a cutback inside. And you see that we didn't get blocked anyway. We actually got around him. And so we're actually doing a decent job of containing the outside. Do they maybe get in if that block gets made? Possibly, but 15 is still free, and we got our linebacker number 49 also coming free. And so we're at least giving ourselves a decent chance of getting a stop against the strong toss. And so I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, people just run strong toss against it. Yeah, that's true, but we wanna still take away the QB sneak. Take away the brainless, obvious one that people wanna do, and make them actually have to work for it. It's the 1 yard line, okay? So it's not like it's a guarantee to keep people out of the end zone, but doing it this way with goal line 5-3 will get you way more goal line stops. I've gotten way more goal line stops than ever before using goal line 5-3, and pinching and slanting inside. Because once the QB sneak is gone, and also this is going to do a good job of blowing up all the other runs as well, they can go to halfback dive. It's not really going to make much of a difference. You're going to just have people in the backfield to blow them up for a loss. It's going to be really, really tough for your opponent to score out of the goal line formation when you are running goal line 5-3. Now for lesson number 6, a Mable concept is by far the easiest way to take away an entire sideline. I feel like Mable concepts don't get talked about as much as they used to because of the introduction of the switch stick, but they can still be extremely powerful. And what a Mable concept is the idea of guarding low, medium, and high all on the same sideline. And so right here, we have a hard flat guarding the hard flat, of course. We have a linebacker in a 25-yard curl flat, and then we have an outside third on that side as well. And so if our opponent was running something like this, like a flood concept out of this trip set, we are going to have all 3 levels covered. And so if we go ahead and snap this ball, you're going to see that the zig is covered by the hard flat, the corner route is covered by the linebacker in the curl flat, and then the streak was covered by the outside third defender in the deep blue. So let's talk about how we can do a Mable concept. And it's super, super simple. So all I have here is in my coaching adjustments, I have my curl flat zone drop set to 25. You could do 20. You can even do 15 if you really wanted to. But I think 20 or 25 are typically going to be the best for these situations. And then it doesn't matter the coverage. I'm just doing cover 3 sky because that's kind of the easiest to demonstrate it. But against a trip set, you may want to do it out of a cover 2 shell because deep halves actually do play the sidelines pretty well this year. But it's completely up to you. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm simply shading my coverage underneath. That's turning the stock curl flats into hard flats. And then I'm simply putting my linebacker on a curl flat. And so I would recommend using quick adjustments for that. So we can double tap right on the D-pad for linebacker quick adjustments. I'll select X for my right side, or my left side linebacker, I should say. And then right on the left stick for a curl flat. And now we have our Mable coverage set up. And so with our user, we would of course just guard over the middle, and we have that entire sideline completely taken away. We can run through it one more time. You can see that all 3 levels are covered, and most importantly, that corner route is completely guarded by the curl flat defender. And so super simple concept. And by the way, if you ever hear someone say double Mable, which is a term that people might throw out sometimes, double Mable simply means mabling both sidelines. And so it would look like that. Now, of course, a double Mable, you're going to leave a lot of stuff open in the middle. And so you better take one of these D linemen and guard over the middle. But if you're really worried about your opponent trying to attack the sidelines, then that's where you would use a double Mable. For the most part, I think it makes the most sense to just run a single Mable and just Mable whichever sideline you think they're trying to flood. But of course, you can double Mable if you absolutely want to. But whether you're doing a single Mable concept or a double Mable concept, the Mable concept is without a doubt the best way to take away the sidelines. And if your opponent's trying to use a flood concept on one sideline, then you're going to have defenders in every single spot that they want to attack. And finally, for lesson number 7, use the back off individual cornerbacks mechanic to avoid getting burned over the top. And so let's say I'm here playing cover 1 press, and I'm super confident in my press man coverage on the right side of the field. Maybe I'm going to take that safety and put him in a deep half on that side just to be safe, but I'm not too worried about the right side. There's still one problem with this coverage, and that is on the left side, that's Tyreek Hill out there. And if my opponent gets to snap the ball and has Tyreek Hill on a streak, well, that's going to be a super easy touchdown for Tyreek Hill, and that's about as easy as it will ever get. So what can we do in this situation so that we can still play the coverage we want on the right side of the field, but not get torched on the left side of the field? And the answer is that there's an easy mechanic in the game to back off an individual cornerback. And so in order to do that, we're going to press Y or triangle for our coverage adjustments. Then we're going to press A on Xbox or X on PlayStation for individual. Now from there, all of your opponent's receiver icons are going to come up. And whichever receiver is the one you want to back off your defensive back for, you're going to select that receiver. And so in this case, Tyreek Hill is the X receiver, and I want to back off the defensive back across from him, so I will select X for Tyreek Hill. Now from here, you're going to press up on the right stick for back off. And when you do that, your defensive back is going to go back and give a 10-yard cushion against that receiver. And so it's a super simple mechanic, but a lot of people don't know about it. And of course, with a 10-yard cushion, then you really, hopefully shouldn't be getting burned over the top. It's crazy that Tyreek Hill still got 2 hands on it. This game, I wish the game would have him play that better, but that's okay. And I know it seems like we made a lot of adjustments, but once you get the muscle memory down, guys, it literally is something you can do instantly. I mean, I did that in about half a second. And so it's all about building the muscle memory and just learning how to make these adjustments. And if you really wanted to, you could back off the other guys as well. You could literally do this for every cornerback if you wanted to. Now, of course, if you're going to do that, then you'd be better off just backing off your whole coverage. And so in that case, you would just press wire triangle and then up on the left stick to back everybody off. And of course, if you change your mind and you want to move someone back down, then you can do the exact same thing. It's just going to be down on the right stick for press. And so I think a lot of people don't know about these individual cornerback adjustments, but you have a lot of freedom in deciding which cornerbacks you want to adjust. And from that same menu, guys, you can also choose to have them shade left, shade right, or route commit inside or route commit outside. And so that's another super powerful mechanic as well that we can talk about in another video. But just the idea of being able to back off and press these guys is something a lot of people don't know about, and it can be super, super useful in your online games whenever you're trying to play press coverage. So those are 7 defensive tips I wish I had known way earlier. And once again, guys, if you want to join our community of over 1,000 active Madden players who all have the same goal of winning more games, then check out the link in the description below. But thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you in the next one.